after you use it a couple times, you eat it. It's good.
Tuesday, May 24th, 2022. I want to first remind you to turn off any electronic devices you have, telephones, whatever that you have, so you can not disturb us during the meeting, please. Next item is ask the clerk to call the roll.
Trustee Bishke?
Present.
Trustee Madej?
Present.
Trustee Dunham?
Present.
Trustee Sullivan?
Present.
Trustee Clare?
Present.
Trustee Kozak?
Here.
President Daly?
Present. All present and accounted for. We are going to do the Pledge of Allegiance, and I'd like to ask Clerk Marilyn Carta.
Certainly.
Pledge of Allegiance.
Please rise.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Marilyn. Next item is the approval of minutes for May 10th, 2022. Any questions, comments?
Motion to accept.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor?
Aye.
6 ayes, no nays. Motion carries. Next item is the approval of expenditures for $4,164,236.29.
Move to approve the expenditures as presented.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the expenditures as presented. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Bishke?
Aye.
Trustee Madej?
Aye.
Trustee Dunham?
Aye.
Trustee Sullivan?
Aye.
Trustee Clare?
Aye.
Trustee Kozak?
Aye.
6 ayes, no nays. Motion carries. Thank you. Now we have some presentations. First item is a presentation of the Illinois Emergency Services Management Association Lifetime Achievement Award to Bill Clark by James Walters, Fire Chief.
Thank you, Mayor and the board. I was reading the wording for this award that's given to Bill, and it's so well deserved, and I was going to try to narrow it down, but there was too much good stuff in it, so you're going to have to suffer through as I read the whole thing here.
By all means.
William Bill Clark is the definition of public service and working to make the community safer through collaborative planning and cooperation. Bill began his career as a firefighter for Elk Grove Village in 1970. He ascended through the ranks, serving as lieutenant, captain, and eventually deputy chief of the department in 1989. During his time with the Elk Grove Fire Department, Bill was heavily involved with the Emergency Services and Disaster Agency for the village. He assisted with the build-out and operation of the Village Emergency Operations Center, originally located in the training room of the fire station. He retired from the Elk Grove Village Fire Department in 2001 and took over the role of Emergency Management Coordinator for the Village of Schaumburg. Over the 11 years as the emergency manager for the Village of Schaumburg, Bill has dedicated himself to the betterment of the community that he serves by pushing the standards of emergency management and embodying the term coordinator. When Bill walks in the room, there are few people who do not greet him with a smile, and no matter the meaning, it is almost a guarantee that Bill will know everyone by name. He has done tremendous work to improve the relationship between the departments that make up this village and their role in emergency management. He has also done significant work through partnership with neighboring jurisdictions and special districts like the Park District, who play a major role in the emergency management program for the Village of Schaumburg. Bill is a wealth of knowledge and has served in the emergency management capacity officially and unofficially since before the term emergency management was widely adopted. Bill has been a member of IESMA since 2011. And as of April 2020, Bill is retiring from his position, or as of April 2020, Bill retired from his position at the Village of Schaumburg as the Emergency Management Coordinator, but has remained in a volunteer capacity with our MRC. People like Bill help to shape what emergency management is in Illinois, leading the way in cross-community coordination before it was a national standard. It is impossible to replace someone like Bill. We can only learn from the example that he has set and hope to make the kind of impact that he did on this community. I cannot think of a more deserving person to receive a Lifetime Achievement Award in the field of emergency management from this association. So, Bill, congratulations. It is a well-deserved honor, and you certainly deserve this Lifetime Achievement.
Thank you, Chief.
From IESMA.
Thank you.
Let's get some pictures here. Get some pictures.
Can I just say a couple words?
Absolutely.
I just want to say I'm very thankful to receive this award on behalf of IESMA. I tell everybody when I started a fire department in 1970, I loved the job then. When I retired here in 2020, I loved the job then too. So 50 years, loving the job in and out, you can't complain about that. Worked with very professional people in both villages, and I think one of the best examples of professionals in our village is when we had a July 2017 storm. Within minutes, Public Works was on the street with their plows, cleaning the streets off. We had street sweepers out, the tree chippers throughout the weekend, and by Monday morning, the village is in pretty good shape. Very professionally done. So thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Bill. Bill, not to impose age, so to speak, but Bill's always been around, always been great to talk to, ask how things are going. He's been working on so many things over the years. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you. Okay, thank you very much, everyone. Thank you.
Next item is we have a presentation of a 25 years award to Paula Hewson, Assistant Village Manager. Paula, please come forward. You get to sit in the audience and see this happen all the time, and now it's you. Isn't that pretty cool? Here you go. I'll give you the box that goes with it. Okay. Okay, next item is liquor license requests. We have none on the agenda for this evening. Consent agenda will be read in its entirety, voted on as one motion to approve. If you wish to discuss an item further, please indicate that when the item is read by the village clerk so that it can be removed from the consent agenda and discussed further under committee reports. Otherwise, all items will be approved as presented on the consent agenda in one motion to approve. Will the village clerk please read the consent agenda?
Number 1, correspondence. The motion would be to approve the request from District 54 Education Foundation to hold a raffle on June 6, 2022 at Schaumburg Golf Club, 401 North Roselle Road. B, the motion would be to approve the request from International Association of Firefighters to fundraise from sunrise to sunset on May 28, 2022, June 4, 2022, and June 11, 2022 at the intersection of Plum Grove Road, Schaumburg Road. 2, liquor licenses. The motion would be to approve the request from Mr. Scott Falgenhauer of Schaumburg Township Elementary School Foundation for one Class D one-day liquor license for their golf outing on Monday, June 6, 2022 from 10:30 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. at Schaumburg Golf Club, 401 North Roselle Road, waived fee. B, the motion would be to approve the request from St. Peter Lutheran Church for one Class D one-day liquor license for Memorial Day observance and to waive the fee. 3, proclamations. A, Bike Month, June 2022. 4, finance, legal, administrative, and general government. A, finance department The motion would be to approve the Finance Department monthly report for April 2022. B, the motion would be to approve membership in the Northwest Municipal Conference and that membership dues in the amount of $25,528 be paid. C, the motion would be to approve membership in the Illinois State Chamber of Commerce and that membership dues in the amount of $1,150 be paid. D, the motion would be to approve a resolution authorizing the village manager and village clerk to execute an agreement for the year 2022-23 with Medium Giant of Dallas, Texas in the amount not to exceed $155,000. E, the motion would be to authorize the village manager and village clerk to execute an agreement for Septemberfest main stage production with Creative Audio of Rockford, Illinois, in an amount not to exceed $155,325 for the year 2022-23, and approve the required resolution. 5, Public Safety Committee. The motion would be to approve the sole source purchase of station alerting replacement to U.S. Digital Designs of Tempe, Arizona, and installation to Digicom, Inc. of Huntley, Illinois, in the amount not to exceed $183,000. B, the motion would be to approve a resolution authorizing the village manager to execute an agreement extension with Andy Fran of Aurora, Illinois for school crossing guard services and to issue a purchase order in an amount not to exceed $116,996. 6, Planning, Building, and Development Committee. The motion would be to refer the proposed code amendment pertaining to parking lot landscaping requirements at automobile dealerships and other commercial properties, Section 154.136 and Section 154.66, to the Zoning Board of Appeals for a public hearing. B, the motion would be to authorize the expenditure of funds for village services in the amount of $3,920.40 associated with the Timbercrest Woods Neighborhood Garage Sale to be held on June 3rd, 4th, and 5th, 2022, from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. C, the motion would be to direct staff to draft the Woodfield Hub Overlay District regulations for review by the Zoning Board of Appeals. 7, Plan Commission. The motion would be to approve floor area ratio, FAR, credit approval for 403 Lexington Drive. 8, Zoning Board of Appeals. The motion would be to approve a site plan approval, new construction, landscape variations, building setback variations, sign variation, and Woodfield Regional Center design review for Outback Steakhouse, 1140 Plaza Drive, Schaumburg Restaurant Court. 9, award of bid. The motion would be to award a bid for construction of Albion Avenue from Irving Park Road to Mitchell Boulevard improvements with J.A. Johnson Paving of Arlington Heights, Illinois, in the amount of $985,798. 10, traffic agreements. The motion would be to authorize the village manager to execute the draft traffic agreement by and between the Village of Schaumburg and Experior Logistics Center located at 1001 West Irving Park Road. B, the motion would be to authorize the village manager to execute the traffic agreement by and between the Village of Schaumburg and Ascent LLC located at 115 Commerce Drive. 11, resolutions. The motion would be to adopt as resolution number R22-057 for utilization of Rebuild Illinois grant funds for the reconstruction of Albion Avenue from Irving Park Road to Mitchell Boulevard. B, the motion would be to adopt as resolution number R22-058 approving and authorizing the execution of a second amendment to service agreement between Village of Schaumburg and Andy Fram Services Inc. C, the motion would be to adopt as resolution number R22-059, approving and authorizing execution of a services agreement between the Village of Schaumburg and Medium Giant. D, the motion would be to adopt as resolution number R22-060, approving and authorizing the execution of a consulting talent buying agreement between the Village of Schaumburg and Creative Audio. 12, ordinances. The motion would be to waive first reading and adopt as ordinance number 22-040, granting floor area ratio, FAR, credit approval, 403 Lexington Drive. B, the motion would be to waive first reading and adopt as ordinance number 22-041, granting a site plan approval, new construction, landscape variations, building setback variations, sign variation, and Woodfield Regional Center design review for Outback Steakhouse, 1140 Plaza Drive, Schaumburg Restaurant Court. This concludes the consent agenda.
Thank you, Marilyn. Look for a motion to approve. The consent agenda has been read.
Move to approve the consent agenda as presented. Second.
Motion and a second. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Dishke.
Aye.
Trustee Madej.
Aye.
Trustee Dunham.
Aye.
Trustee Sullivan.
Aye.
Trustee Clare.
Aye.
Trustee Kozak.
Aye.
6 ayes, no nays. Motion carries. Those items have passed. Next item is committee reports. We have none listed, none to come before us this evening. Comments from the audience. This is an opportunity to step forward and speak regarding items that are pertinent towards the Village of Schaumburg.
Good evening.
We need your name and address for the record, and there is a sign-in if you wouldn't mind.
I have signed in.
Thank you.
My name is Peter Friedrich. My address is confidential.
Your address is confidential.
Yes, sir. Due to the nature of my work,
Do you live in the Village of Schaumburg?
I currently reside nearby.
That's okay. We don't need the address.
Okay. Please proceed.
For at least the past 3 years in a row, every August from 2019 to 2021, the Schaumburg Police Department has welcomed the local chapter of the Hindu Swayamsevak Sangh to stage a photo op with them. As these HSS members arrive, invariably dressed in the HSS uniform, the Village of Schaumburg year after year takes this photo op and promotes it through the village's official channels. Let's be honest, this is great publicity for the HSS, but then the question arises, have village officials ever actually bothered to ask what the HSS is? What if I told you that the HSS is the international wing of an Indian paramilitary organization known as the RSS? That is a fact upheld by every major journalist and academic, whether pro or anti-RSS, who was...
Excuse me, sir, could you slow down just a little
Yes, sir.
bit?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
That is a fact upheld by every major journalist and academic, whether pro or anti-RSS, who has bothered to do the most basic research on the HSS. In fact, that is the view illustrated by the HSS itself at its own meetings. Check out, for example, this October 2019 meeting of the HSS that happened just a few miles from where we're standing tonight. This meeting was actually organized to celebrate the founding of the RSS. You can see Congressman Raja Krishnamurti standing in front of garlanding symbolizing celebrating pictures of the first two chiefs of the RSS. This guy is particularly interesting. He is the second chief of the RSS and its ideological guru. He's particularly interesting because he actually praised the racial policies of the Nazis towards the Jews and suggested that it was a good model to follow in India towards religious minorities like Christians and Muslims. And for the past 75 years, the RSS has been putting that hideous ideology into practice by staging massacre after massacre of Indian minorities, usually in collaboration with local police. Now, I have a pretty good idea why Congressman Raja Krishnamurti was at this HSS event, considering how heavily top HSS leadership in the country have funded his campaign since before he first won office. But why is the Village of Schaumburg associating with the international wing of a violent and fascist paramilitary? I and many others have implored Raja Krishnamurti to disassociate, but he has closed his ears off to the idea of change. However, I trust that the honorable trustees of this village will be be more open than he is to reconsidering their own association, especially in light of the growing human rights crisis bordering on impending genocide, which is currently being created by the RSS in India, and especially considering you probably don't have the same financial ties to HSS leadership as does the Congressman's campaign. Thank you. Thank you.
You have a copy of that you might leave with us? Or-
I can leave this copy,
Yeah, that would be great.
and I'm happy to leave the
Great.
transcript.
Thank you. Give it to the village clerk. Thank you very much. Anyone else? Okay, moving on. Council report?
No report.
No report. Okay. President's report. I have 3 items to read in, if I may take just a few minutes. We have this very nice, I think it was supposed to be a card, but it's the way it came across through the email. I think you've all seen it, but I'm going to just read it real briefly. So this was Community Development Department. Ooh, how about that, huh? Thank you. Following through inspections of Schaumburg homes for their code violations, felt they were getting out of hand, can see improvements happening already. Please keep up with the process. Much appreciation from a resident of Schaumburg who's been here for over 40 years. So, this one is from Jeannie and Rich Banducci and Theo and Benji. So apparently a couple that attended the Public Works open house on Saturday, 2 weeks ago, I think, right? Saying it was a wonderful event. Thanks for putting on such a fun day. There was 2 men who were super helpful and friendly with their grandsons, age 5 and 3. I assume that's Theo and Benji. That helped them climb onto the truck, showed them how they worked. Very patient, encouraging, complimenting their climbing skills. Okay. Since we were there during a quiet time, each of the boys climbed into the trucks multiple times. Boys were thrilled. Thank you for recognizing them. They believe one of the gentlemen helping the kids was Jason. Not sure who the other person was. Let's see. They were working with the trucks used to plow the airport, mini Bobcat, other trucks behind the sandbox. But anyway, they wanted an appreciation and a thank you sent to those individuals that helped. So thank you very much. It's a good event, great event. Dear Mayor Daley, my husband and I, both seniors, would like you to know that our town has the best firemen and paramedics. Chief, this one's for you. We had a non-emergency call to the fire department about smoke alarms beeping, even though we changed batteries. The firemen came out, were so polite, helpful, and of course, solved our problem. It was carbon monoxide detector. Alas, they did give us new smoke alarms and installed them. I wanted to repay their kindness. But of course, COVID spoiled the gesture. Maybe I can bring them some homemade cookies and not worry about COVID someday. Happy to live in Schaumburg. This is Mr. and Mrs. Ken Wischer, I'm not sure, K-A-N-W-I-S-C-H-E-R. Anyway, I did drop a note back. I think you've seen that, and I said make sure to take those cookies over because I'm sure they'll love those. So that's all I have. Manager's report.
I just have 2 items. First of all, I want to express my appreciation to Rob Blekas for his efforts during the past few months to serve as interim director of cultural services and also continuing in his role as assistant director. So he was really serving in 2 roles, and it was a difficult time for the department, and Rob provided great leadership and support. So thank you for all your efforts.
Kind of struggle putting that tie on every day, right? Yeah, we understand.
Pack these away. And the second item, I'd just like to extend congratulations to President Daley on his election as Vice President of the Northwest Municipal Conference. Schaumburg has a long tradition of leading regionally, and this will be another opportunity for us to continue to do that. So congratulations.
Thank you.
I look forward to providing my support. That concludes my report.
Okay. New business? None. Unfinished business? None. Trustee comments and mentions? Trustee Dunham.
Aren't we having an art fair around here next weekend or something like that?
Glad you brought that up. Go for it.
Go ahead.
No, that's all right. I was just say go for it. It's, yeah, something we have done every year.
Let's let Rob tell us.
Oh, thank you.
There you go.
The Prairie Arts Festival is returning after 3 years. It'll be this Saturday and Sunday here on the grounds, the beautiful grounds, from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. We've got close to over 90 artists participating. You can go and walk the grounds, look at the art, perhaps buy some, take some home, buy some as a gift, some for your walls. We'll also have live entertainment on stages throughout the grounds and 5 food trucks. Starting with pierogies, that's all I need to say. So, it's going to be a great time, and I think the weather forecast is looking pretty good.
Yeah, weather
so,
forecast is looking great. I looked this morning.
So we're looking
It's like
forward to it.
72 Saturday and I think 80 on Sunday.
Yep, very
Perfect.
excited.
That's just great.
95
Great.
on
It's
Monday.
wonderful to have it back.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Thanks, George, for bringing it up. That's great. So, any other trustee comments, mentions? Went to the Boomers.
We did. We went to
Yep.
the Boomers
Mike was
home
there, too.
opener, and they won.
Yep, they did.
They always win. So it was a great way to start the season.
Yep. Nice fireworks. It all went off very well, so. Next, we have a motion to adjourn, but we need to go into executive session, under Section 2, subsection C5 of the Open Meetings Act, land acquisition, the purpose of lease of real property for the use of the public body, including meetings held for the purpose of discussing whether a particular parcel should be acquired.
So move.
Second.
Motion and a second. Are we looking to return? I assume not.
No, we are
Okay,
not.
as-
So we'll be adjourning from closed session to adjourning generally. We will not reconvene.
All right, will the clerk please pull the board?
Trustee Bischke.
Aye.
Trustee Madej.
Aye.
Trustee Dunham.
Aye.
Trustee Sullivan.
Aye.
Trustee Clare.
Aye.
Trustee Kozak.
Aye.
6 ayes, no nays. Motion carries. We are adjourned. Thank you all.